It was 2016. I just caught the gardening bug of growing our own food, learning to compost, how to repair the soil, and I became such a nerd about it that I started telling everyone. So everyone at our church.
Kind of a problem.
It
actually became a problem.
But so much so that we started composting ourselves, and people started to bring me their own kitchen scraps. Then there was this one lady who would routinely, every single week, bring me her kitchen scraps.
Yeah, she was sweet.
She was very sweet.
She was doing that to help you.
Exactly. Well, not only that, we would see her at the farmer's market every single week. She went to our church, and we would talk about things like gardening and composting. And I asked her, I said, why are you giving me this, like, what I saw as, like, this huge asset,
like
this
gold.
value? Yeah. Why are you giving me this? Why don't you make your own compost in your backyard? And she said, no. My husband would not allow that. Not in a bad way. I totally understand. They had a very nice house, lived in a very nice neighborhood with a big HOA. He said, no, we couldn't do backyard composting because you can't have rotten food rotting in your backyard. It's going to attract rodents, and that's just something that my husband is not down with. Fast forward, Vego
could solve this problem.
Reached out to us with their kitchen composter. My first thought was, that doesn't fit our lifestyle.
For the sake of like really cutting down to it, I said, we're not doing that. This makes no sense. We live on 7 acres. We've had so many different kinds of compost. And Bo was like, pause for a second and let's revisit the us of 10 years ago. Let's revisit the Donna of 10 years ago when we lived in the city. Let's revisit how this product probably would have made a big difference in our success at composting and gardening in the city. Now, here's my resistance. There are tons of composters on the market. Big round ones that roll and flip. There are squared ones that you sink into the ground. We literally have a pile of poop. This is our composter right now. And we have refuse and we give things to our chickens and we change our kitchen scraps into bacon. Like, we have very many methods. But the us of 10 years ago did not. And for a lot of our friends here on the internet, you guys might never live on 7 acres, but you love watching somebody who does. And yet you also love to garden at your place. You love to have a way to grow herbs and easy veg and simple things that you use every single day. Not to be a big sales pitch, but I really didn't think anyone should have something that grinds down their food and turns it into dirt. This seems excessive. And yet, I really am sold on this now. In fact, I have left some compost on my counter just to see how I'll feel at the end of this process. So I'm 50% sure that I'm gonna love this thing, but I could be convinced to not love it. And so we're gonna take that very first out of the box experience with you. We're gonna put some food in there, and then we're gonna movie magic this forward and show you what this actually does.
All right, so we're gonna open this up for the very first time. I think the only thing we did was we talked to Vego about the color. Real quick, yes, this is a sponsored video by Vego.
The sell point is from garden to table and back again. I can get into that. Oh!
It is cool looking. It looks slick.
These are the always. Veggies, which include loads of things. Loose teas and coffee grounds, so not the tea bag, but loose tea.
Okay.
Leftovers of meals. So it says small quantities of prepared food. Grains, eggshells, fish scraps, meat scraps. So like...
our pasta last night, a little bit.
Yeah,
if you're scraping off the plates.
Like the leftovers, I guess. You can put in starches like bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, cereal, and oats. And here's the nevers. It says meats and dairies, so like large amounts of chicken, beef, pork. You don't want to put in butter and lard. I'm thinking though, they're not saying like just ingredient. They're saying like a stick of butter.
You're like bone broth?
If we do bone broth, the bones are soft.
Yeah.
We could put those in there,
Like
which
from the
would be
Instant
very,
Pot.
especially if I lived in the city, that would be fantastic because the alternative is very doable, but it's actually the same thing. The alternative is bone meal, and you dry out those bones and then you grind the bones in your Vitamix.
Yeah. That's a lot of work.
But this would actually be way more effective
Like if you don't...
than me of 10 years ago. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is various levels of, I guess, what you want to compost. So like, there's one that says grass, which is grind up the speeds, biodegradation, create a nutrient-rich, ready-to-use organic matter. Oh, I'm gonna put this into work. Also, sometimes a brand will send us things and it doesn't make sense. But I promise you, I can compost this entire booklet, and that is a thing.
Does it say paper
No,
towels?
you can't compost it in this, but I am a composter and I know that I can take all of this. This is very clean. It's on craft paper, probably recycled. Like, way to go, Vego, to show up doing what you say you're gonna do. Now, let's see if this is. This bag is made from 100% biodegradable material. It can be cut into small pieces and composted with kitchen scraps in the composter. I see you. I see you, Vego, and you done good. Way to go. It's probably not as serious as we're making it.
Well, I mean, it's yes, I agree. There we go.
Well, the way you're
Once it's
standing
set.
with bent knees and an engaged core, I feel like that's not necessary.
Why are you making fun of me?
Prep their body for this.
That thing
Alright.
is legit.
If you ever had like one of those little, I have a tiny carbon filter on top of the bucket.
We've had that.
This is a serious version of that. Oh, and it's nice and chilly. So nice. Add the carbon refill kit.
Whoa.
Ew. No whammies, no whammies. Oh, then I guess we're ready.
Slap it back in.
Do not touch the bottom. Okay, so this is gonna heat up to help expedite the breakdown. All
Plethora
kinds of things.
Stuff.
Eggs.
That ain't gonna work. All of our espresso, banana, another pickle. I'm not gonna lie, I feel kind of guilty trying this because our pigs and chickens would love this.
this.
Did it say you can do bread?
Probably like crusts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you can do
sourdough
that.
crust.
It said starches.
What about peels, like
Yeah.
lemons? So this is what I am
didn't
excited about
exclude the
this.
citrus.
I want to try citrus. If you've been composting for a while, you realize that citrus almost never breaks down. It takes forever. And no animals will want it.
Also,
More eggs.
peppers. None of our animals
Yep.
want peppers.
They don't like the peppers. There's some more bread.
So when I make that jalapeno cheddar focaccia, this is the perfect place to put those peppers.
In the small amount of saving this a couple of times, like for a couple of days, we won't be able to fit everything that we
Right.
have. We're a big family and we go through a lot of food waste.
But I'm looking at this. This is probably a full gallon. So if you have a full gallon of food waste and you put it in here, I'm interested to see how much size it reduces.
Onions, like
Yeah.
the onion, like things like that, our animals won't touch. So that just like sits out and it attracts rodents because they don't really want the onions or the garlic
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Can we
and
keep
so now
going?
I'm looking at this and I'm like, I have celery growing in the garden. I have onions growing in the garden.
Yeah.
So this is very exciting.
I think you're better at things than I am.
Certain things. All right, is it easy to...
Mama.
let me-
Yeah.
So you open, put on, kind of like your food processor. Like it fits and then it slides. Okay,
Yeah, it does feel very futuristic.
let's turn it on. All right, so things I'm looking for in the next 24 hours. I'm looking for the speed, I'm looking for the sound, and I'm looking for the smell. And then in the end, we'll look for the texture. I can't decide that until the end. But those are the things that I'm going to review about this, because there's no sense in adding another thing to your kitchen if it's not going to satisfy those few things. So let's start on the Vego mode. It has a nice touch. If you're a little sensory.
Ooh! Whoa! It moved.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. How old are we if this is what's fun? Whoa.
Oh, it also says don't touch it. Like, don't touch the glass. So it's gonna get hot.
Yeah, I did see that.
So we're gonna have to keep the kids.
Okay, satisfactory level. I very much like this. I'm just gonna say that is very satisfying.
Vego, they got their product development down. Like, their stuff
I'm not
just
mad at it.
looks good. If you're an Apple person, you would like Vego, which is why I think we like Vego, because yes, we are Apple people. I don't like PC stuff. I don't like Windows. I only like Apple stuff.
It's moving. It's like when we had eggs in the incubator and they started hatching. I have other things to do. I can't be sitting here for 24 hours obsessed with this machine.
No, you can't.
But I also am going to visit frequently. Okay.
What?
All right, so there's an initiation, and then it settles for a second. It does something else, settles. It's very active.
A little later. Three hours later.
Light.
There's a light. There is an actual light so you can see in there.
That is awesome.
Like, that is
Do you need some more?
extra coolness right there, man.
What is it making? What is
We
that?
put our kitchen scraps in it. It's turning it into dirt.
How is it making dirt? And grass.
8 hours later.
Okay, so yes, it got cold in the last...
24 hours.
It's done.
I know, I'm very eager. I'm like, what's it gonna smell like? What's it gonna feel like? Turning it on with my hand.
You're gonna smell it?
Okay, well, there's definitely a strong coffee smell, but that's because we put in a lot of espresso pucks. Okay, it's surprising. Well, number one, it's warm.
Oh.
It's dirt. It's dirt. That's really crazy. Did we put eggshells in here?
Yeah.
It almost looks like when you get peat moss and it has perlite in it.
I want to feel it.
It feels
Ooh.
a little like... It feels like dirt, but
Well, it's dry, yeah.
It's like dry dirt.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, we're going to add that into our dirt. That is really cool.
But it feels definitely like
there's a
dry
couple-
coffee grounds.
I don't know
Well,
what this would be from.
the
There's
se-
a couple of like...
We did there was a decent amount of celery in there, and I think that's
Yeah,
what is so
fibrous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now we need to do the other setting.
I really want to
Let's do it.
the
Express.
that is so
Crazy, right?
Wow. Yeah, it smells a lot like coffee. But if you're worried about it being like smelly,
Gross, yeah.
moist, rotten, no, there is nothing nasty left
No,
in there.
it's really cool.
It is really cool. Okay, so we're gonna dump this out and then do another batch. Of course. All right, so it's been several days. We're on the third batch, maybe the fourth batch of this kitchen composter. Y'all, it has done exactly what we hoped that it would. It is fairly quiet. You can hear it right here. It looks amazing. As you can tell, Kelly decided to brand it like crazy with our Better Together stickers. And it does the job. It doesn't stink. And it breaks down rotting food kitchen, like dinner plate scraps in no time. This thing is incredibly easy. Yes, it's easy to be able to like use it and to hit the buttons, that's one thing. But compared to actual composting and how fast you get a finished compost product, it's insane how easy this is. Okay, so who is this for? I believe that this is for the person that lives in suburbia. They have some disposable income. They go shop at a farmer's market, kind of garden a little bit. They want to be able to compost their food waste, but yet their HOA isn't going to allow it. They don't want any kind of rodents or anything in the backyard, but they want to do the right thing and not throw their rotting food away in the trash. That like hippie mindset, but yet not wanting to take the full step. That's where I think Vego hit an absolute home run, and it's a lot of fun. So guys, I have links down in the description below. Thank you again to Vego. We love partnering with them. This thing is just the sharpest looking piece of equipment. It's just an amazing little appliance. It looks legit.